This media is brought to you by Kalaboukis.
In the realm of tomorrow, where techniques mind, we ponder, we dream.
Good morning. Welcome to ThinkFuture. It's episode 1060. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. So today let's talk a little bit about diplomacy. And I've recorded this show pretty early, so I'm not quite sure what's going on in the world, but I'm sure there's all sorts of things going on in the world. And one of the things about things going on in the world is that the reason why we have a lot of disagreements among human beings, even though underneath it all, this is my contention, underneath it all, we all kind of want the same things. We all want safety, we all want peace, we want security. There's lots of things that we want. And mostly when you talk to the individuals within a specific country, no matter where the country is, whether it's China or United States or Greece or Europe, France, wherever you are, there's a certain set of things that every human being wants. Maybe the government doesn't want it, maybe the state doesn't want it, maybe the leaders don't want it, but the people all want something similar. Now, if you ask me, one of the reasons why we get into some of the diplomatic issues that we get into is not the people themselves, but it is the leadership of these individuals. That's why I think we should think about taking AI and applying it to politics, applying it to diplomacy. I mean, if you ask me, if we had AI politicians and AI diplomats, don't you think these AI politicians and AI diplomats, as long as they were programmed properly to only align with the will of the people, that we would have fewer problems in the world? Maybe because, like I said, at the bottom line, the people themselves all want the same things. The leadership might not. The leadership might be interested in starting a war or doing this trade or whatever. But the people themselves, they just want the same things no matter where they are. And if all these people want the same things no matter where they are, maybe if we had AI diplomats and politicians who were actually representing the people, what the people actually want, instead of what the party wants or what the cabal wants or whatever anybody else wants, maybe if we had AI diplomats and politicians representing the people, wherever they happen to be, maybe we wouldn't have as much conflict as we have in the world today. Now, you have to be very careful in the way you create these generative AI bots to become those politicians and diplomats. But if you do it right, and if the people have the correct say, and it's as unbiased as humanly possible, then I don't know about you, but I would prefer an AI diplomat. I would prefer an AI politician to some of the politicians that we're seeing with their own special interests and lobbyists and all those other groups. Maybe an AI politician would represent me as a human being, as my constituency, better than any other human politician and diplomat would, because they're more aligned with what the people want and they don't have the bias. Sure, there'll probably be bias in there because it depends on who programs it, but maybe we can get to a point where we could eliminate as much bias as possible and only support our constituencies. So we should at least experiment with it. We need to look at AI politicians and AI diplomats and see if we can actually create constructs, human-like constructs, that can represent us without bias. Let's at least try it out before we say, no, we shouldn't do that. Because that's the kind of human beings we want to be. We want to be do-its. We want people who try things out and see if they work before we decide if they're good ideas or not. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.
Pixels and philosophies merge and mold, a future untold, unseen.